Hey guys, this is Arsenal Giants PS3 and welcome to episode 2 of our Superliga, Liverpool Superliga Road to the Top. Now first and foremost we have a Capital One Cup game. Before that I just want to say I will be showing all the leagues and all the teams in the Superliga structure at the end of the episode, so hang around for that. But then, right, onto this, the second game, the first cup game of our thing, and to be quite frankly honest with you guys, the cup is not something I am too bothered. I play a relatively strong side, but I'm giving Sterling and Asaidi roles in this match purely because the cup is a bit of a distraction really. We want to, our main thing is to win the league, and I just can't be bothered with the cup quite frankly. So this first game isn't the most serious of all games, and the scoreline really does reflect that. But we start off pretty well here, some nice build up, and Jermaine Defoe, still looking for his first Liverpool goal, just puts it wide. And this is the first cook up of the series. Joe Allen does actually score for me, but I was pissing around, I don't know, with the recorder. He scores a relatively nice header there, quite good for someone of his stature. A very, very strong header into the right-hand side of the goal. So we actually take a 1-0 lead over Brisbane Roar. But it doesn't take them long to get back. Visconti here, perfectly, staying on side. Very, very good. A shoddy clearance from Aga. Another poor clearance from our centre-backs. Mainly my fault, to be quite frankly honest. And Brioche, I don't know if that's Brioche is in the role, or Brioche or whatever. With a decent volley. I think it takes a deflection because Pepe Reina doesn't quite get down quick enough. It looks like he's thrown off here, but I mean this clearance here is my fault really. I think I was just trying to keep possession or something and kind of screwed myself over. But we did look dangerous. Some nice play here from Jose Enrique. We were pressing quite high up the pitch, and Suarez with a decent shot. And we actually go in at the break 1-1. So at this point it's looking like a pretty respectable game. I'm trying to get Defoe his first goal. I think morale actually plays a big part in this, and if you're not scoring, but they do take the lead, and it's sloppy defending from me from the throw-in. I didn't get tight enough, and Berisha, I think the Albanian striker for Brisbane Roar, with a decent finish. Again though, it's my fault. The defending was pretty shocking, but look at this, quite a comeback. Defoe finds Sterling, a nice Ronaldo chop, and he gets a bit lucky getting past Hingert here. A nice little ball roll, and then a lovely, lovely finish. He may not know how to use a condom, but Raheem Sterling definitely knows how to finish. This is quite literally straight from the restart, and look at this finish here. Perfect, down low, well placed, and we get back on level terms. But as you can see, guys, this game was crazy. Suarez here, lovely bit of play, and Jermaine Defoe still struggling to find his first goal. Slightly frustrating, but again here, guys, this is truly awful defending. We do actually, Skirtle tackles him, then Johnson pisses around with it, and we go behind. And although I wasn't, I'm not that bothered about the cup, I was getting frustrated because Brisbane Roar were a very, very clinical side, and we do actually get a goal back here again. Danny Pacquiao, the Spaniard, with a nice bit of work, and he finds Suarez here. It's, I don't know, slightly sweaty goal, but it's always important, just to get goals back. But they do actually go and get another goal. In the end, I was carrying way too much than I wanted to for this game, and just sloppy defending really. It's one of those things I need to adapt to. The defending on FIFA 13, and that's evidence there. But I mean, a 4-3 loss in actual fact isn't that bad, purely because I don't care about cups. Maybe the FA Cup, I'll think about it in January, but in the end that's not actually too bad a result, although that's not quite what it looks like on paper. Now here we are. One thing I do realise is that we need a new central defensive midfielder. Sahin we do have isn't quite as strong as I was hoping, and I've got kind of 4 options here, although they're not indefinite, but it's definitely a place I want to strengthen. And first up we had Capoue there from FC Toulouse, who's a pretty decent player. Here is Sven Bender from Borussia Dortmund, 23 and 81 and around a 7 million value. We'll probably end up paying something like 9 million if we're going for him. He looks like a good player. Also we have this man, Tiote, an 82 overall, which is pretty damn good, and 26 years old, so still another couple of years in him, but 7.5 is pretty expensive. And then here we've got pretty much the final product, same age as Tiote, Johan Cabaye, not quite as good defensively really, and an 8 million value, but these are just some of the options I'm weighing up. So we go into our second game here, and we are flying out to the Midwest to play the Colorado Rapids, our second game in the league, and this one I went from a 4-4-1-1 with Suarez in his more native centre forward role and trying out Barini up front. We do have Defoe and stuff on the bench, but I thought, Colorado Rapids, they're going to be a team which are going to try and sit back, but hit us on the counter. And the one player we've got to look out for is the Englishman Connor Casey up front. They are a pretty good team on both FIFA and in real life, the Rapids. I think they won the MLS in 2011 or something. So I wasn't expecting an easy game, especially away from home, and they did start off pretty well here. Mullen playing a wonderful pass here to Castrillion or whatever, and he actually gets in for goal and just hits the side netting. But our chances were far and few in between, but look at this effort. Straight off the crossbar there with the overhead kick from Skirtle. Pretty impressive. But, it was half chances. Here's a lovely little chance in for Suarez. Just takes it a little bit too quick, and it's a good save by the keeper, but not something we can kind of bank on. And here again, a half chance out to Suarez, and he just drags it wide. So it was a tough game, and one which I really had to take my chances, and I was just struggling to do, and we went in at the break 0-0. So, a frustrating start, but we do get a lead straight from the offset of the second half, and it's that man Martin Skirtle, such a danger in the air, and that's a pretty decent finish from him. Just towering above the defence, really. When you got a player with that kind of heading ability, it's hard not to score. A nice ball in from Sterling as well, and a good lead to take. And after that, really, the chances really did kind of dry up. Defoe comes off the bench though, and thought he'd got his first goal for Liverpool, but was offside, and quite rightly so called offside there. Lingering a little bit too much in front of the last man, and a nice volley though. But he does get another chance here. Again, this is that play that I'm really trying to implement, pressing them higher up the pitch, and he does win it, wraps his foot around that, and it's a really, really good save in the end from the keeper. And it was a solid 1-0 win against pretty tough opposition, but one which I was kind of frustrated that I didn't win more, if you know what I mean. It was one of those ones which I was hoping for maybe a 2 or 3-0 win, and especially as that game preceded this one. Stuttgart are a very, very tough opponents. Hajnau Okazaki, the Japanese guy, Harnik, the Austrian, I think he is, and Kuzmanovic. Stuttgart are a very, very strong side, and probably favourites in this league to do quite well. They've got Ibisevic, the Bosnian, on the bench, and Kakao as well. A very, very strong team, and this was going to be one of our hardest home games. So I played a pretty strong side, 2 strikers, and I think Sterling started as well, because Sterling has really impressed me, but it was a boring start, and the first chance comes courtesy of Stuttgart, and it's a pretty cool, I guess, free kick, but it just kind of clips the top of the bar, not too much to worry about. And then we get our first chance after that, and it's a nice through ball by Defoe. Suarez, and I just don't have the composure to finish it. It's a good shot from Suarez, but an even better save. And Stuttgart began to look dangerous. Hajnau did quite well there. Finally, Harnik turns Skirtle inside out. A bit of a gap opens up, and he just drags his shot wide, but really does show an incentive, and that incentive really does come to the ball here. Hajnau again doing well. Harnik really, starts this move, because Manovic plays nice pass in. Turun plays it on. He beats Johnson, and then it's a fine finish on his right foot into the bottom left-hand side corner, and right on the cusp of half-time. It was a frustrating goal to concede, but it had been coming. They have a lot of quality in their team, Stuttgart, and one of those goals which we had to really look out for, and not too much I could have done. But we go into the break 1-0 down, but I didn't fear too much, because there were chances both ends, and we have a couple here. Lovely work from Suarez holding it up, and Defoe still trying to find that first goal, but again this pressing football leads to one. Gerrard plays a lovely ball in. Jermaine Defoe gets fouled, but then finishes crisply into the bottom left hand side corner. That's why we signed him, really. He does, when he gets going, have a very, very good shot, and that was kind of evidence of it there. He has missed quite a few chances, but Gerrard plays a pinpoint ball. Tasky, I think it is, tries to hold him down, and it's just low and hard into that left hand side corner, and a really, really nice lead to take. One last photo replay there. Good goal from Defoe, and he opens his account. And then, you know, chances opened up. As soon as you score one, more chances seem to come along. A nice ball over the top here. Gerrard saved, then Defoe saved. Very, very good goalkeeping. But, you know, our pressure was oncoming. Again, Defoe involved. Nice ball to Sterling. The poor left back just can't keep hold of him. Sterling gets to the byline and finds Luis Suarez, and that is why Suarez is such a beast on this game. He is a finisher, and that is quite a finish. A great diving header. Look at this. Just gets in front of the man and just aims it perfectly into the left hand side. Look at that, perfect finish. But you know me, I'm never going to hold a lead, and this had been coming, to be fair. Kuzmanovic, it's a half chance and he just buries it. It was frustrating, I'm not going to lie. I was spitting spitting with anger, but it was a good finish, and you know, that's what it's like on world class. You will be punished if you give them a bit too much space, and that is exactly what I did, and a good finish. But 2-2 against probably the strongest team in the league it's not bad. I'm not going to complain, because they did play well, and quite rightly I think deserved a part of that game. So here we are, guys. Finally I'm going to show you the leagues, and in the Premier League I have got an array of teams. I tried to get as many teams in there, and it is, you know, generally your Champions League players, except for Al Shalab from the Saudi Arabian League. I tried to include them purely because I wanted to see how they would fare, and they were the highest rated Saudi team. We've got PSG in there, Real Madrid, Benfica from the Portuguese league, Santos from Brazil, and Zenit from Russia. And you know, the Championship is more of the same, a bit more Europa-ish. But what I really want to say to you guys, if you don't see your favourite team in there, I would have left them out just to keep the Champions League competitive. So a couple of teams are missing, and they are out purely to make it competitive. And also, if you think a team is lower down than it should be, that is because I wanted to keep the leagues competitive. So for example, Spurs and Newcastle are both in League 1, purely not because I hate them or whatever, just to keep it competitive. And I think there's a nice array of teams in there. I think every single league got in, bar maybe one. But you know, we've got Australian teams, Korean teams, Mexican teams in there, Dutch teams, quite an array of talent, and it should be really, really exciting. And here's my league. We are third at the moment, behind Al Hilal from Saudi Arabia, so it's pretty interesting. Rangers having a tough time, but thanks guys for watching this mammoth episode, and I will see you guys in a bit.